Hare Krishna. So welcome you all for Shri Īśopaniṣad sessions, and this is all due to the mercy of Srila Prabhupada who put this together for us to understand. And before we go any further, let's do the prayers. Let's do Mangala, take the blessings of Guru and Acharya. Om. अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानजनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथवितं तं सजीवम् साधुवैतं सवादूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री महाराज की जय। जय जय श्री राधे। हरे कृष्णा everyone. So let's resume our sessions on Shri Īśopaniṣad mantra 12. So we have been discussing in mantra 12. Srila Prabhupada explained two main things. So this is the mantra itself, and there are two main things in here. So the very first thing is the worship of demigods. So how we should worship, how we should not worship, and then what is the worship of impersonal absolute. So those two things. So demigod worship, Devi Devata Upasana, we have been looking for few weeks now, and today we will start impersonal absolutes. And maybe we don't have to spend a lot of time on it because we have already covered it, and this concept will come again and again as well. But few recaps in there and maybe something new to add on. So this is what we have discussed on demigods. We have seen the examples of a landlord and then a king whose son was lost came back, and then king got the job under his own minister. Then the prince started working for the king directly, but still the motive was different. But now the king realized that I'm the son of the king and now I'm the prince. And maybe the prince is going to work even more now, but this is the true identity of the prince. Hence, the whole idea of these spiritual practices is to realize our true nature. So, and this is not just in Vedanta. Any other religion we pick, any big religion, any organized religion in the world, we need to understand that this world is not real. This world is temporary. And of course, a few people will say this world is not real. And this is what Mayavadi impersonal is, and we will discuss it. But others might say this is real, but it's temporary. But if you take a step back, more or less it's the same thing, in a sense that whether it's real or not real is temporary enough not to be taken as a real, right? So it could be that somebody say, oh no, it is real, but even if we consider this as real, it's that short that we can. Whether we consider this as real or unreal doesn't really matter. But we need to understand this body is not us. Subtle than body is mind, and subtler than mind is Atma, the soul. Hence, we need to realize we are soul. Hare Krishna. So we have seen the examples of Vallabhacharyaji, which we will see today as well. And Ramanujacharyaji's example we will see today. And then we have seen the example of Keshav Kashmir Bharati. And then we have seen the example of Chandiras, whose brother was Vishnu Bhakt, but Chandidas was the Bhakt of Mother Kali. And Durga Kali, then she was offered the flower which was offered to Vishnu even in mental state, Mansik Puja. That also was accepted. So a lot of time people say, oh, well, you have so many rituals and rites, but how do you do it when you're traveling, you're in a plane, you're in a train? Well, Mansik Puja is always there, which is available to us. Because Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Tolam, Yome Bhaktya Prachati. Bhaktya, like, whatever you will offer to me, with bhakti, I will accept it. I mean, that's not even tangible, that's even in mind. And we have seen many, many, many stories where Krishna has accepted the Mansik Upasana of Bhakta. So, if we carry on with that, we come back to Mantra 12 overview. We have seen the demigods, rishis, absolute truth. Now we have seen the demigod worship. So we are going to go and discuss the last thing. So there are two segments, and the first one is demigod worship, which we have discussed. And the main thing here to realize that no one is criticizing demigod worship. So sometimes people, they think otherwise, they wrongly misunderstand that Hare Krishna devotees, ISKCON devotees, they don't pray to anyone except Krishna. That's not true. That's not true. Based on wherever devotees originated. So some people have more affection towards Ganeshji, towards Mata, towards Hanumanji, Ramji. They continue praying to them. They continue praying to them. The only thing which happens is that the true nature is realized that when we pray to them, what do we ask for from the demigods? Do we ask for the material gains, or now do we ask for the spiritual? Because we understand that we are not material, we are spiritual. And very, very crude way to understand that we are not material is that we know, we have seen people die. And we can understand that one day we're going to die as well. So, but in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, no, you can't. Just like the body leaves, the soul never leaves. So the body dies, but the soul doesn't take birth and does not die. What does that mean? That means that we need to understand that this body dies, but this body is not real us. So, and this is what we understand from impersonalists as well. That's why sometimes we consider, like, if we see this verse says that impersonalists are better than demigods in one sense. Why? Because most of the time when people pray to demigods, they ask for material gains. But those who are impersonalists, they are at least a bit more spiritual. Now, again, it depends. There could be many more devotees praying to demigods, and they might be spiritual, because it's very hard for us to understand. We could see two devotees praying to at the same time to the same Lord Ganesha, for example, because currently Ganesh Chaturthi happened, and then Navratri is going to come. And you might see some devotees praying there. You might think, the person is asking for material gain. We don't really know. So what we should do, or what we should not do, we can always pray to all the demigods. They have been appointed as the ministers from the Lord to associate, to help, to assist us. So we should take their association. However, we should understand what for. Now, I remember in India this happened, as somebody said, so two politicians got association of an actor, one of the biggest actors in Indian Bollywood. One politician just took the pictures taken with the politician. The politician just took some pictures with the Bollywood actor. The other one, he didn't take any pictures, but what he said, would you please do some marketing for my own state? And that politician later became the Prime Minister of India, and currently he is serving as Prime Minister. And then this is what, so he had such a big vision that if I'm getting association of this actor, should I take the pictures like what other politician did and just show in the social media? Or should I look for the external, longer term, the true vision, what it is? So this is what actually happened. So we should understand. Hare Krishna. Danda pranam to Mataji. Mataji ने कैमरा ओपन करके अपने दर्शन दिए. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So this is what it is. We should never criticize anyone who is doing any worship, but we should understand that what is the purpose behind it. So हम देवी देवताओं की पूजा कर सकते हैं, पर हमको ये समझना चाहिए कि देवी देवता की पूजा करते वक्त क्या हम भौतिक संसार में भौतिक इंद्रियों की संतुष्टि के लिए कुछ मांग रहे हैं, या हम अध्यात्म में भक्ति मांग रहे हैं. तो ये हमको हमेशा ध्यान रखना चाहिए. Now let's move on to the next, which is the next section, impersonalists. Who are impersonalists? To understand them a bit better, and we have covered this in the past, but let's cover it again very briefly. There is a section in, let's go even more back. Let's go to the time of Krishna. When Krishna was there, and then Krishna established the religion, because that's the whole purpose. He comes down to save his devotees and to re-establish the religion. Two reasons given in Bhagavad Gita. But then when Krishna left and the Kali was about to start, and everything was given to the king Parikshit, and Parikshit Maharaj was the grandson of, so he was the son of Abhimanyu, so the grandson of Arjun, and he was a devotee, and he was leading a very nice life, and he established the religion. But when he was leaving, and why he had to leave, because Kali Yuga was about to start. So remember, this is a vicious cycle. Satya will come, and then Treta will come, Dwapar will come, and then Kali Yuga will come, and after Kali Yuga, the Satya will come again. And the whole idea is that we should come out of this vicious cycle. So again, this is like a common understanding. Most of the religions will agree on that this is a temporary place. We need to break this cycle. So of course, some of the people will believe in rebirth. Not everyone else will, but still they will say where we are, we should get better to. So no spiritual practice should accept, or in my experience, has accepted that living material life is the main aim of this life. No. Either somebody will say, I'm a karma yogi, I will do good actions. If I will do good actions, good deeds will come, and then I will reap the benefits of good. So karma yoga is there. And then Raj yoga is there. Raj yoga is very crudely translated to the meditation part, moving on from Patanjali Sankhya Yoga to Raj Yoga, where people just do meditation. And then, of course, Gyan Yoga, which is full of Upanishads, where not only do you do meditation, but you also study the scriptures to understand it better. Hence the name Jnana. And then you have the bhakti, whether you have jnana or not, whether you have karma yoga or not, whether do you do meditation or not. Bhakti is where you understand the true nature, the relationship between you and God. And if the bhakti yoga is done properly, in association of sadhu, guru, sadhu, and sangha, then bhakti yoga will include all others. So, for example, Hare Krishna devotee will do karma yoga, always busy in doing good for the world. During COVID, all over the world, distributed food, well, still does it on a regular basis. Food for Life is an initiative, raise a lot of funds for others, and do bhakti sessions like this for no material gains. The only motive is to liberate others, and of course, through the process, you get liberated yourself. You raise above that material miseries, and that's the whole. You are happy, you would like others to be happy. Part of karma yoga, and you do actions for that. Karma yoga. It's actually better than normal karma yoga, where you do good deeds and you expect good deeds. In bhakti, the karma yoga and bhakti yoga is considered as nishkam karma yoga. Nishkam, like you do karma yoga, but you don't expect anything in back. So you still do karma, but that karma yoga is perfected to the limit that you don't expect anything in return, and that's why it should pay. That's what Krishna has suggested in Bhagavad Gita chapter 3. Now, then you do chanting in Hare Krishna, which is a Raj Yoga. You sit 2 hours, and then you chant, and of course, you can split 2 hours, you can't do in one go, but that's Bhakti Yoga, right? Kirtan you do, and then becomes Raj Yoga as well. You go in ecstasy. Then Gyan Yoga as well. You read the scripture, you try to understand. Every session in the morning after Mangala Aarti, we have Guru Puja. After Guru Puja, we always have a Bhagavatam class, Chaitanya Charitamrita class. There is an evening class. So all the classes always happen. So that's part of Gyan Yoga to think about. And then, of course, Bhakti Yoga is there, where whatever you do, you offer the results to Krishna, to the Lord, saying that, thank you for everything you have given, and please inspire me to do service, not only for you, but to all your devotees, which means you try to serve the whole humankind. And so Bhakti Yoga includes all of them. If Bhakti Yoga is done properly, of course, there are some pseudo gurus, if I say, who might distract many innocent, vulnerable people from devotion for their own material gain, like we have seen some examples in past. So we should be very careful with that. So now there was a time when the Kali Yuga started. When Kali Yuga started, everybody got corrupted. Kshatriyas, they lost their power, and to a great extent, Brahmins, they became corrupt, and they were not practicing. They didn't have the pure mind to practice. And of course, their followers, their sons, their daughters, they didn't follow the rituals. They didn't learn the Vedas like they were supposed to be. And before we knew, 100, 200 years later, when after Kali Yuga started, it got to the level that nobody was doing Bhakti Yoga. Everybody just got, because the whole society depends on Brahmins. priest to guide that. If you remember any of the previous stories, we see the king always have the vice ministers, and they also have a Raj Guru, so like a royal priest. And the king will not take any action without consulting the priest. Priest will guide on a moral basis, whether this act is moral or not. But if the priest, the Brahmin himself or herself is corrupt, then it's very hard. And this is what happened. Now, what happened that there's a section in Vedas, which is Karmakanda, which is where you offer a lot of offerings in it could be in terms of monetary money, it could be in terms of sacrifices. And when you do it, then of course you become powerful, but you say that because you make some demigod happy, the demigod will give you more power. And this was not the correct understanding. And because Brahmins got corrupt, they just took that small part of out of context and explained to the society, and society, before we knew, society got into karmakand. And this gone for a long, long time. And still in India, we see such a holy place, but a lot of times we realize that we ask somebody, why are you doing it? And there is no proper reason. And even if the reason is, oh, if you do that, you will get this, which is not bhakti, right? It's just a material thing. This is what karma kand is. When you do karma, accepting something back, and when you worship, you accept something back. That's karma kand. We don't want to go into karma kand at all. But when this karma kand was happening, then Shankaracharya ji came. Well, actually, before Shankaracharya ji, Gautam Buddha came. Gautam Buddha said, well, tell you what, okay, Buddhists, the Brahmins explaining that we are following Veda, and see the Veda, they talk about Karmakanda, so we are following the Vedic rituals, which was partially right. As I said, it was taken out of context. When Buddha came, Buddha said, hey, this is wrong. This is wrong. You are suffering, and your suffering is not going away because you are just following out of context scriptures. You don't understand the scriptures. The Brahmins you are following, they don't understand it, and for their own material gains, because they are corrupt, they make you down. So it's like blind leading blind. So you should not follow them. And then he said, don't follow any Vedas. So he condemned Vedas. Don't follow any Vedas. Focus on the moral values. And that's where Buddhism comes in. And even today, if you follow, of course, there are many segments of what Buddha started was that focus on moral values, do good, good will happen. Don't look for all these Vedic, not that Vedas are wrong, but the Buddhists who are misinterpreted, they are wrong. Hence, condemn them, don't do it. Listen to me, just focus on this meditation and do this, and then you will become enlightened. And of course, many people did. But that also corrupted a bit later on, like it always happens if you think about it. But then Shankaracharya ji came. Shankaracharya ji said, well, hang on. It's wrong that you are condemning all the Vedas. We should not do that. We should never do that. What we will do, or we will follow the Vedas. And he picked up Upanishad, he started explaining Upanishads, and he explained Upanishad very correctly compared to Buddhism. And then Buddhism went down because Adi Shankaracharya ji, he traveled all over the India, and Bharat was a big place then. And he established his mutts in 4 directions, and the Vedic culture was coming back. But of course, when there was nothing and Vedas are so huge, he focused on one thing. He said, he propagated impersonalism, that you need to follow Vedas, and in Vedas, what Upanishad says that Aham Brahmasmi, you are Brahman, and Brahman is the realization we all need to have. Now, what this verse says, so again from Chaitanya Charan Prabhuji, that there are 2 kinds of impersonalists. There are a few more, but 2 main big categories. Impersonalists. So who are impersonalists? Who say that God doesn't have a form. Impersonal. Personalist. So if I think Krishna is sitting somewhere, Lord Rama is sitting somewhere, and after death, if I'm enlightened, I will go there in the spiritual world and I will meet Lord Rama, Lord Krishna. That's what we call personalist. Impersonalist, who says there is no other spiritual world, you just get enlightened here. You will not get birth again. And there is something we call shunya, that you will get into absolute truth, which is just a shunya, which means you will lose your identity after that, once you will get enlightened. That's in very crude, in very summarized way, that's what impersonalism is. But there are two types of impersonalism, Mayavadis and Brahmavadis. We will come back to that. But what happens when Adi Shankaracharya ji came, and Adi Shankaracharya ji, Buddhism actually said it's Shunyavad. But then Adi Shankaracharya ji said it's not Shunya, that everything is void. It's not that everything is void. Buddhism never talked about soul. They don't consider Atma. They don't consider God. They said everything is Shunya. And focus, do meditation, and you will realize it's everything is Shunya. Nothing is there. Adi Shankaracharya ji said that's wrong. The Atma is there, and Atma is the main thing. And Aham Brahmasmi means I am that Atma, and because of that, I understand the world as it is. So it's not Shunya, it's one, Advaita. There are not two things, there's one thing, Advaita. And then Ramanujacharya ji came, he proposed spatial Advaita, Vashishta. And he said, well, that's not true. Of course, it's not true that we are Shunya, like Buddhist says, but it's not completely true that we are Advaita, that there is only one. There is a bit of difference. There is a bit of difference. And then we can get into details. But Vashisht Advaita, he's still focused. Yes, there is one, but still there is a difference. But then he left it there, and we will not go into detail. We go to the next one, where Madhvacharya ji came. And Madhvacharya ji said, well, actually, what Ramanujacharya ji said is right, but let me explain a bit more. Ramanujacharya ji says Vishisht Advaita, and I will say it's not Vishisht Advaita, it's actually completely Dvaita, which means God is different, I'm different. And Jiva, Jagat, and Jagadisha. This is what Madhvacharya ji said. Jiva, I am Jiva, living entity, I'm different. Jagat, this world is different, and then the Jagdisha is different. Lord is different. So Madhvacharya said Dvaita. So he propagated Dvaita. And then, so in this great thing to remember, Bhagavad Gita talks about 5 topics. So there could be a big discussion on Bhagavad Gita, but it will come down to 5 topics. What are those 5 topics? Out of 5 topics, 3 topics are these: Jiva, Jagat, Jagadisha. So we can remember that. And apart from these 3, there are 2 more. One is karma. A lot emphasis on karma is given. And then the consciousness when we do karma. And then kala, the time. So karma, kala, jiva, jagat, and Jagdish, these are the 5 main topics, major topics in Bhagavad Gita. So now after Madhvacharya ji, Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji came. And what Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji said that based on Madhvacharya ji, that we are Dvaita, and for Dvaita, another word is Bhed, that there is a Bhed between us and Lord. There is a Bhed, right? So Dvaita, we are different because we have a Bhed, we have difference. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji explained in more detail what Madhvacharya ji meant by Dvaita, that we have Bheda, but his philosophy was, which we still follow in Gaudiya Math. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji's color was like golden, Gaudiya. Hence, the Math, the organizations he set up, and the followers are called Gaudiya Math. And ISKCON is part of Gaudiya Math, so follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji. Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji said that Achintya Bheda Abheda. Achintya Bheda Abheda, which means that simultaneously we are same with the Lord, but we are also different. Which means, when we go into detail, that qualitatively we are same as Lord, but quantitatively we are different. Which means Krishna is Satchitananda, we are also Satchitananda. We don't remember, that's a different thing. And that's the whole practice. And impersonalism will say the same, Buddhism will say the same, that we are that true nature which we haven't realized. Adi Shankaracharya will say Advaita means we are Brahman and Brahman is Satchitanand. So let's realize Satchitanand. But Madhvacharya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji later on said that yes, we can realize that that we are Brahman, but then also at the same time we do need to realize that we can never become Lord. We can never become God. God is different. We are different. We are Jiva. God is Bhagavan. We could never become Him. So this is starting from Shunyavad, Buddhism, to Shankaracharya ji, to moving on to Ramanujacharya ji, to Madhvacharya ji, to Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji had many more. If we have the book Bhagavad Gita as it is with us, if we see at the end of introduction, the whole list is given from Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji to Srila Prabhupada ji. The whole lineage is there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji was there around 550 years back, and from that till Srila Prabhupada ji, many acharyas been, and it's like unbroken disciple succession, Guru Shishya Parampara, and we should realize that, we should follow that. Right. Okay. So this is a good time. What we will do, let's take a break because this meeting is going to end in 2 minutes. Let's take a break and we shall resume back. And then we shall discuss the difference between Mayavad and Brahma. So just breaking it here, I'm going to come back. So I look forward to seeing you very shortly. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So what we were discussing so far is where impersonalism set in, all the philosophy. Of course, there are many more Vedic schools, but this is where you can understand from Shunyavad to Advaita to Vashishta Advaita to Dvaita to Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji, Achinta Bheda philosophy. And just to clarify that, not to criticize any of those schools, each of the school of thought, they have their own understanding and they have their own practices. So Srila Prabhupada ji, of course, condemned many others, especially Mayavadis, and we'll discuss now why he condemned Mayavadis. So interesting enough, those who are Advaitians, so they will call themselves Advaitians in English, of course. Well, in Sanskrit, the word Advaita is a Sanskrit word. So Advaitians, they will not consider themselves, they won't call themselves Mayavadi. Right, they won't call themselves Mayavadi. But Srila Prabhupada ji coined this word, Mayavadis. And of course, not only Srila Prabhupada ji is the Acharya. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj ji, he was considered as a lion against Mayavadi. But of course, we need to understand what Adi Shankaracharya ji proposed. Okay? Just because Adi Shankaracharya ji, there was a context when he came, and the purpose why he started Advaita, right, and focus on Upanishad, because at that time people didn't have the trust in Vedanta. So that's the reason he focused on Upanishad. He could not elaborate more, but also he wrote Bhaj Govinda Bhajan, which in glories of Lord Krishna. So we understand he also knew, but he could only give that much. And I think I read it somewhere that famously he said it. And many spiritual gurus, they usually say this to the student that I can only give you as much as you can take on. Right? And there are many examples like this. Many examples like this. Where, one of the examples we know, Ramakrishna, Paramahansa ji, when he kind of gave enlightenment, the taste of enlightenment to Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda ji had two reactions. On one occasion, he said, what are you doing? You're taking my world away. I have parents to support. If I will live in this estate, I will not able to support my family. And Ramakrishna Paramahansa said, okay, let it be. You might not be ready yet. And then another time when he gave the glimpse to Swami Vivekananda, he was Narendra, he wasn't a Swami then. And so a young Narendra, very inquisitive. The very first time when he met this boy Narendra, when he met his spiritual master, who was not his spiritual master, he used to go to the spiritual people, spiritual beings, and he used to ask, have you seen God? And most of the people will say, oh, I understood God, I felt God. No, but I haven't seen God. But Ramakrishna Paramahansa was the very first one who said, I have seen God as I'm seeing you. And that was a very first powerful thing which Narendra heard from a spiritual master. And since then he stayed. So the second time when he got the glimpse from his teacher, he said, I want to live in this now, because of course his family was very well settled. But then Ramakrishna condemned him. He said, don't you want to work towards the welfare of the whole world? After you will be one of those, but you also being selfish, just want to enjoy yourself. And then Swami Vivekananda understood, and then he started spending this to the world. So he will not consider himself Mayavadis, right? That the whole, so the word Mayavadis, the word is Maya. Maya is illusion. And Vadis, of course, those who believe in this. What is the concept? The Advaitians, they say it's an illusion. Just like we have a dream. What is a dream? In a dream, a tiger chasing you, and then you woke up, and then you are still sweating. What was, somebody will say, oh, where is that tiger gone? The tiger was not there. It's not that tiger is gone somewhere. Tiger is not there, hasn't been there. It's just the illusion. And what they say, that was a dreaming state. This is a waking state, but this waking state is also a dream. One day you and me, we will wake up from this. What is enlightenment? Remember what Lord Buddha said, I am awake. So what does that mean? That means that I have realized now, I'm self-realized person, that this world is illusion. This world is not real. Hence, I am awake. And this is what Adi Shankaracharya also Maya, that everything is Maya. Everything is around us is Maya. Maya means illusion. Everything is illusion. And they consider the God as illusion also. Right? So that's where the Srila Prabhupada said that they are wrong. They are very wrong that they say God is also illusion. And they say you can become God, but you are the main thing. So if somebody will say, what is God? Who is God? You are God. Of course, they will say, I am God, you are God, everyone is God. That's what Mayavadis are. This world is nothing, just a dream. We will wake, we will wake one day when we will get enlightenment. So that's what Mayavadis are. Brahmavadis are a bit different, and we will see the verses are referred here. Brahmavadis, they don't say, they are not as, I don't want to use the word bad, but of course, Srila Prabhupada does. But he was 70 years old and very much realized a true devotee. But Brahmavadis, they say, okay, I have affection toward impersonalism. That impersonal God is there, and I want to get attached to them. But I'm not condemning that personal God is not there. Let's put it that way. Mayavadis will say there is no God. Brahmavadis will say, well, there might be God. I don't know. I'm not concerned about it because that's where my focus is, that impersonal. And where they will say, maybe Karme Ram Basa, that Lord is in every atom of this universe. So let's focus on that. Let's not focus on Lord Rama who's sitting somewhere. Might be or might not be. So that's what Brahmavadis are. But Mayavadis are, no. There is no one anywhere. Or I am Atma, I am the only one. And of course, you are Atma and you are the only one. No one is there. There are no two. Remember? Advaita. So I am Atma, you are Atma, and we are the same Atma. And as you can see, it's very confusing. I am Atma, you are Atma, and we are the same Atma because of Dvaita. If you will say your Atma, my Atma different, then it's Madhvacharyaji, Dvaita. That we all are different. That's Madhvacharyaji's Dvaita. But Advaita is that we all are same Atma. There is only one Atma, nothing else. Mayavadis and Brahmadis. So Mayavadis are considered, they do offense to the form of God. Right? And then Brahmavadis, they will not do any offense to the God. So they say, okay, the form of the God might be there, but I'm sorry, I don't understand that. I have no understanding. I'm not attracted to that at the moment. I don't know about it. So no offense is there. But the Mayavadis will say, no, 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 there is no form. So this is the main difference between Mayavadis and Brahmavadis, even though they both fall in the same category, that they are impersonalists. So any question and any thoughts on so far that we have discussed? Right. I suggest that think about it, why it's important for us that at some point we also become impersonalists, right? And when do we become impersonalists? Let's say, as I was saying, when we travel, right? We travel and we will say, well, the Lord is not here, Lord is not watching us, right? And then the example where the teacher gave mangoes to every student and say, go and eat where no one is watching. And out of all, one came back, said, sorry, I couldn't find a place where God was not watching. So rest of the people thought that, oh, God is there, or people are there, I can hide. But true devotees, they know you cannot hide everything and anything you do, God is always watching. So when we think no one is watching and we can do bad things, bad deeds, then that's like a misconception of becoming impersonalist, that God is not there. But if we know God is everywhere, hence I said that sometimes we are also impersonal in a different perspective, but we can understand how this could change our life. Remember and imagine if everyone will remember that the God is always watching, we will never do that. So why the thieves will come when it's dark and in hiding? Because they think nobody's watching. If they think people are awake, it's a daytime, they will not come. When people know other people will find out that I'm lying, will they lie? No. Will they cheat? No. Most of the people commit offenses because they think they will get away with it. Who will commit the offense knowing that they will get punishment? I think no one will do. No one will do. So if we will remember that God is there and God is always watching us, whether we say, like what Krishna says, Sarvasya Chaham Hriday Sannavishto, I'm sitting in the heart of everyone. How could you hide from me? Even before it comes and appears in your heart, I know it, right? Because you desire, I know it straight away. So hence it's very powerful concept. So if they don't think, oh, it's old thing, it's for those concepts, somebody believe in God, somebody doesn't believe in God, it doesn't affect me. No, it does affect which philosophy we follow. And well, of course, Srila Prabhupada raised some queries. Srila Prabhupada said, so Mayavadis, they think that Maya is everything and Brahman is everything. Sorry, not Maya is everything, Brahman is everything. But then Maya is also part of Brahman. Then how is that possible? That Maya is part of Brahman. And think about it, if you are Brahman, that then and you forgot, then it means Maya is more powerful than Brahman. And they ask these questions which Srila Prabhupada and Acharyas raise, which is very hard for us to understand. Of course, I'm pretty sure that Advaitians, they will have their own version of answers and justifications and understandings, the way they understand it. But it's hard for Bhakta to understand. So what is our true calling, true nature? How do we want to relate to the God? Of course, the reason we go to the temple, the reason we have temples at home, because we could relate to them. if we don't see someone, if we hear about someone, the very first thing usually we say, "Oh, let me see the picture. I want to see the picture of the person." Bollywood actors, a cricketer. Oh, I want to see the person in action. Yeah. So it's much easier to get attracted to the Lord in the personal form. And then we'll just leave it here because the time is wrapping up. But we'll see, it says 7:24. So we will see 7:24. We will see 12:34, which is again 12:34 and 5. So these verses are there where in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has explained what Mayavadis and Bhagavad. Maybe the words are not used there, but we can understand from the definitions. So thank you so much for your association today. And hopefully next week, maybe a couple of weeks, and we will conclude Mantra 12 because there are many other, we want to see a couple of other perspectives on that as well. So thank you so much for your presence. With that, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev Maharaj ki jai, jai jai Shri Radhe. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Hare.
Thank you so much.